Hello,
everybody. Welcome into First Take, coming to you from beautiful Lake Chalet in Oakland. Our last day here. Game 2 is in the books. Warriors up by 2. Same scenario as last year, but a very different deal. We'll get into it. Ladies.
First Take, go Bears!
Key questions as we get set for Game 2. Which team will get off to a hot start? Which player will be the catalyst? And great news for Golden State. Steve Kerr will return and be on the bench. Up top, nobody near Draymond Green. Nails the three. Draymond Green inside. Pachulia. Warriors rolling early. Shot blocked by Durant. Picked up by Curry. Durant pulls back for 3. Durant locks it up. McKee throws it down. Running his limits to cross line. Puts up a 3. Knocks it down. James trying to harass Curry. Curry off the dribble. Layup off the glass. Golden State remains perfect. 14-0. And up 2-0 in these NBA Finals.
Bay Area. Thank you so much for starting your week with us here on First Take. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I know some people had a good Sunday night. A lot of those folks are right here at Lake Chalet Bar and Grill with us right now. This crowd's hype. No surprise. We got a full house here at the desk. Your boy Max Kellerman, Will Kane, Marcellus Wiley, I'm Molly Carroll, and our First Take fam.
I'm worried. We're not going to see these people anymore. I'm worried this is goodbye. We've gotten to know these nice people. This might be our last day with
You're
them.
taking out the broom?
I know.
I'm
Look at that.
worried
You were
it's
saying
goodbye.
something.
Yes.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I saw your lips moving. I didn't hear a word I you couldn't said. hear a thing. These
Basically,
people are
good
loud.
morning, good to see you, etc. Gentlemen, good to have you all here. We got a huge show today coming up. Draymond Green's mom is going to be here.
Hey, there you go. Respect.
Big Shot Bob,
Hey.
Robert Ory in the house.
Big shot, Bob. All right. Yep.
Mr. Fab,
There you go. Respect. Y'all got yay.
and Shamar Moore. So, quite a few people joining. Oh, yeah.
crush.
Don't blush.
Man crush.
Right? So, gentlemen, just another day in the office at Oracle. The Warriors taking a 2-0 commanding lead, a 19-point win. The Cavs had the same slow start last year, but according to our Jalen Rose, it's a different deal this time around.
We have not seen this before. We
okay.
did not
So we're gonna argue. Okay.
see this last year, because let me tell you why. We said it before the game. The Cleveland Cavaliers ain't beating this team 4 out of 5 games.
No way.
Because of the person that we're talking about, Kevin Durant. And the thing I like about his dominance, it ain't just against the shot against Richard Jefferson. He's doing it on purpose against LeBron. He's looking at LeBron James standing in front of him and saying, I'm about to get a bucket off the bounce. I'm about to go to the post. I'm about to go to the hoop. Do you know how demoralizing that is for the Cleveland Cavaliers when they know they only have one guy that can possibly stop KD and it's LeBron, yet he's still having his way?
Oof.
Waves are spinning, J. Rose. I saw him. Marcellus, I want to start with you here. I know you've been Cavs all along.
Yeah.
But after last night, is Jalen right? Is this series over?
Cover your ears, because I'm about to talk bad about Jalen Rose right
Okay.
now. No, in all respect to Jalen Rose, who obviously knows the game of basketball very well, he's completely wrong about this team, and he's completely wrong about this series. It's not over. Look, I prefer facts over opinions. I prefer numbers over words. So let me give you some numbers to
This'll be good.
support what I have to say. One, Cleveland has been here before. We just talked about it. This 2-0 commanding lead.
Yeah, commanding.
Commanding lead.
Big lead.
Didn't we hear that last year? Weren't y'all suckered last year into thinking about this 2-0 commanding lead?
No KD.
Yeah. And
Paging Kevin Durant, not there last year.
and First Take is not coming back to Oakland. You said last year First Take wasn't coming back to Oakland. They came back to Oakland, and they took it from you guys. Look, this situation, if they go to Cleveland and win Game 3, they've made up half the ground already. A 2-1 lead. If you think about it, LeBron at home with his role players feeling comfortable at home. And that's the issue. If you really want to talk about what's wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tristan Thompson, you're not rebounding. J.R. Smith, you're not doing a damn thing. And if you look at the role players, no one's showing up. Kyrie can't hit the contested shots. LeBron is basically out there by himself. But is the series over? No.
You really believe that?
I
You
totally do.
truly believe
The
that?
series is over, and LeBron identified what's so difficult about this team after Game 1. It's really simple. They took a 73-win team and added Kevin Durant. And in the NBA, in a best of 7, the best team always wins. You want to say almost always fine, but it's even ridiculous. It's just about
2011 Dallas wasn't the best team.
Well,
Yes, they were.
won in
Don't start with me. Don't get it personal.
Look at this.
Don't make it personal.
I'm going
Now,
there right there.
the point is, in the NCAA tournament, in one game, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Right? Football, baseball, best team doesn't always win. Too many variables in baseball. Football is also a lot of variables in only one game. But in the NBA, where you can run your plays through your best players, and you have the best of 7, the best team wins. And who's the best team? Clearly, the Golden State Warriors, we knew that coming in. That's why they were favored. It's not just that they're all, look, Cavs have an all-time great offense. When they're clicking on all cylinders, it's just about as good as you
Most
get.
efficient.
Golden State also has that.
Yeah.
And then Golden State also plays defense. And here's the difference between this year and last year. Last year, they didn't do this. These last 2 games, they Harlem Globetrottered LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was a Harlem Globetrotter.
Wow.
And you can see that class I mean, look what Steph did to LeBron. That's do-do-do-do-do. He's dribbling all over.
Oh, stop.
And I don't want to hear about double dribble. Stop it. Everyone saw what happened.
Sweet
And
handles.
the point is that class tells over time, over a best-of-7 series, over a full game. In the first half, Cleveland's doing everything they can. They didn't play that badly. Both teams played pretty well. Even defensively in the first half, their offense was so good it was 60-something to 60-something, and the Warriors were clinging to a small 3-point lead.
Yeah.
The Cavs had to do everything in their power to get it there, and then almost by accident. It's not even like the Warriors really kicked it into such another gear. Just over time, the difference in the teams became apparent, and by the end of the game, they won by 1,000,000 points again.
I mean, you want
You got anything different than this insanity I'm hearing from him?
I got this for you. The season for the Cavs, it's over. It's done. It's cooked.
Put a fork in it, Marcellus.
That's it.
It's
Now listen.
all over.
Now listen. Hold on.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
back that up. I appreciate that you've made your bed and you're gonna lay in it. I appreciate that you're gonna stay
my
with
chores.
this
I did my chores.
until the very end.
Courage
You're
of your
there.
conviction.
Yes.
I appreciate it. But one thing, my friend, you are not all in on is facts. You laid it out as though you were for facts and everyone else is living in some diluted, reality. Yeah, the one up 2-0. Here's the simple fact. We don't have to overcomplicate this. This is not last year. You can look back to last year all you want. You can talk about coming back from 3-1 all you want. I only need 2 letters to make this argument. Just 2.
All right.
What was that? I couldn't hear you. What? I need 2 letters. They told you. KD. You have no answer.
I do have an answer.
Yesterday I sat there and you sat here. I asked you questions. You didn't have answers. Last night,
There it is.
last night the Cavs performed just like you did. They had no answer. They have no answer for KD.
Okay.
They have no defensive answers.
Get
How
it,
many
Marcel.
points?
You know I'm not done.
How many points in the first quarter for the Warriors? 40.
Good for them.
40.
Good for them. You
Good
ready
luck.
for this? You ready for this? Last year, 2-0, 2-0 this year, right? You're saying it's not about last year. 2-0, 2-0. Last year, they actually beat the Cavs by a worse point differential than they are this year. Last year, they left Oakland. It was plus 48. 2 blowouts, 15 and 33 points. This year, it's only plus 41. Now, look, if you're Cleveland, you're not sitting there saying, oh, that's good. You're sitting there saying, damn. However,
Plus 41.
it was worse last year, and KD is in the building. We get that. But KD in the building, and it's now in Cleveland. We're going to see what him and that team can
There are
do.
similarities to last year.
But KD in the building is not a throwaway comment.
There are similarities to last year, and it bodes well for the Warriors that there are similarities to last year. It's bad for the Cavs that there are similarities to last year, because let's look at how the Cavs beat the Warriors. 1 possession. I mean, it was, for the last 4:35 of Game 7 at home, the Warriors didn't score a point.
Yeah.
And the reason it was even at a Game 7, Steph came in, physically compromised. You could say hurt or not. That wasn't the real Steph. We saw he couldn't get separation off of Biggs, when they switched on to him. It was ridiculous. Draymond got suspended a game. Harrison Barnes and Festus Ezeli were garbage the entire series.
Yeah.
And so now you have a healthy Steph. Draymond's not missing a game. Already that may have changed the outcome even last year. And not only do you replace Harrison Barnes just with a better version of himself, you replace him with a guy who is now being argued as the best player in the world in KD.
Perfect
Last
segue
year
for me.
is bad news for the Cavs.
Hold on. Can I just put the nail in this coffin?
Sure.
Game 1, the Cavaliers turned the ball over 20 times. What was the score? They lost by 22 points. I'm going to help you along the way. In Game 2, the Warriors turned the ball over 20 times. They won by 19 points.
Yeah. Not the same turnover differential.
It's almost
though.
as though one team is vastly better than the other.
Don't try to cook the books. Not the same turnover differential. That Game 1 was the worst in NBA history. All that said, we've been here before. I hope you guys feel suckered again because you're going to go to Cleveland and you're going to be like, uh-oh, first take will be back in Oakland. Trust me.
All it takes is one. It's true. The Cavs just take Game 3, which is possible even by a small margin. It's a series again, or so it seems.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just being clear now. You're now arguing that the Cavs are going to win one game?
No. They're going to win the next game. You don't have to worry about winning 4 or 5. You got to worry about winning the next game, and that's what they're going to do.
We take it game by game
Okay.
and show by show. All right, you kind of teed it up, Max. So it's not usually a debate, not even on First Take, that LeBron is the best player in the game right now until now. Here's Paul Pierce spitting truth.
He may be the best player in the world today.
Today?
You are
Today.
Whoa.
I mean,
whoa.
look at. We're on the final stage. LeBron is giving you good
Paul,
numbers.
stop.
Wait,
Paul,
wait,
stop
what
it.
can't he
Paul,
do?
Let me stop you
What-
before
where's
you
that
start.
drink?
What's in there?
Cut it
What
out,
can
Paul.
he do on the court?
Let me check in that
Yeah, let me
drink.
smell what
Paul,
you got going on in your mug.
you stop it now.
Hey, this is truth juice.
Right? KD did ball again, 33 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks. Will, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Is Durant now the best player in the world?
It's happening right now.
Oh, God.
It's happening in front of your eyes. The baton, let me tell you something. The baton is being passed, or actually stolen, wrenched out of LeBron's hands as we speak. Now, the today is really important in this debate. The right now is really important in this debate. Not over his career, not all time, not even in these playoffs. But in these finals, KD has been the best player on the planet. He is the best player in the world, and I would suggest to you this is just the beginning. Let me ask you this, Marcellus. A year from now, we'll be having this debate very seriously, and it will be a worthy debate a year from now.
We shouldn't be having a debate right now.
No,
Go
but
ahead.
a year from now, do you think this will be a legit debate?
It's not a debate right now, but let's do it. Let's entertain the people
My
with the
point is,
fallacy
I'm
that he's better than
just
LeBron.
there before you.
No.
1 year now, from now, you will be having that debate. You may be even on my side. What I'm telling you is
Or
I'm
2
at the
years
party.
or 3 years. In other words,
I'm
at
at
some
the
point
party.
you think KD will pass LeBron because he's younger.
Yes.
Of course, because he's younger.
I'm
but
at the party before you are. It's nice. Come on in.
No.
I'm telling you, it's happening right now. It's
Let me give you
happening.
this. There's two reasons why it's not happening. Your premise is flawed. One, you can't look at a guy who's having a better series and say, oh, since you're having a better series than the best player in the world, you're better than him. Dirk Nowitzki had a better final series than LeBron, but no one was sitting there saying Dirk Nowitzki's the best player in the world. So that's flawed. Second of all, if you look at LeBron James, he's sitting there doing it all by himself and still putting up all-time historic numbers. You look at Kevin Durant, he has a crew. It's not a fair fight. One of them got knuckles. One of them got brass knuckles. One of them got a ketchup bottle. They all showing up to beat up on LeBron James. And LeBron is still playing as well as all of those guys individually by himself. He doesn't have support around him, so you can't make that assumption that he's better than LeBron when he has 3 guys scoring over 22 points.
And to add on to that, if the series ended today, we don't know for sure that KD would be the MVP. You could argue that Steph and KD would be co-MVPs.
I think KD would probably get it. You talked about LeBron. It's not just that he's not crewed up to the extent that KD is crewed up, right? First, let me just deal with Nowitzki. Nowitzki, I thought at that moment, proved that for a moment he was the best player in the world, but he was old. So the trajectory of his career was unlikely to take him past anyone on a permanent basis. Will's point, I think most people's point, I made the point after Game 1, actually, that hey, KD, it reminded me a little bit of Ali and Holmes, right? Like, the old guy is trying to rope-a-dope the young guy, but the young guy's too big, too quick, too young, too much bounce in his step, both ends of the floor. That's KD. Dirk Nowitzki was older than LeBron. KD is younger, so you anticipate that he'll eventually eclipse him. And Will's point is he's doing it now, and your point is maybe he'll do it eventually. It might be 2 years from now. Here's the thing. KD right now, both ends of the floor, is outplaying LeBron head-to-head.
Oh, yeah.
He's the best offensive player in the series. He's the best defensive player in the series. He's also younger. And it's possible that we're watching the passing of the torch right now, or the changing of the guard. But It is too early to say, Will, you're at the party early. You never want to be the first one to the party. No one's there. You have no fun.
I always have the best time.
The point is that LeBron James does so much more than KD for your team. It's nothing against KD. He has so much more responsibility in the offense than KD. And KD is on a team where the deck is stacked in their favor so much he could just do his thing.
Yep.
LeBron can't just do his thing. He has to do his thing and try to do everybody else's thing. So while KD might even be the better one-on-one player right now, if you have a team and you're starting from scratch, you're trying to win as many games as possible, take LeBron James.
How about
if
game
you
3?
already have a good team and you want to add a player to put you over the top, take LeBron James. LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
How about this? If you want to win game 3, who would you take? You want to win the next game, and
LeBron
I
James.
will take KD.
You can't pierce them out. You can't just take one individual. You're bringing Kevin Durant with another
No.
great scorer in Steph, and you're bringing in Clay, who had
This
a
is
great
a
game.
man-on-man debate
LeBron
right now.
James will just-
KD, look, I'm not disrespecting LeBron. LeBron has played great. LeBron is great, but it's not. Let's not pretend. By the way, I love having Dirk Nowitzki debates. We can have those all day long. But today it's about KD, and KD is coming from the second place. That's where he was regarded, the second best player in the NBA. And the way he's played in this series, head-to-head with LeBron, you bring up defense. Let's not look past that. The man that KD is guarding is shooting 37%. The man that LeBron is guarding is shooting 67%.
But Will, why
That's
would you,
not close. That's not even close. KD is
why would you bring this up today? He didn't even have the best. He didn't even have the
There was
best.
a game last night.
He didn't have the best. He didn't even have the best game on his team last night. It's amazing. You're gonna say he's better than LeBron, who's the best player in the world, and
Who's better than KD last night? Curry?
Steph Curry had a triple-double last night.
41%, 8 turnovers.
Steph Curry had a better game than KD last night. As you said, Molly, if you want to look at these two right now, they don't even know who's going to be MVP of their
It's
team.
not just
So
about
come on, man.
KD's
Not
play,
today.
though. Wait, KD's play is one thing. And while he looks, I agree, Will, that like he's taking the torch from LeBron or by force maybe, in fact, he has such superior firepower. It's easier for him to do that. It's not just about KD's performance. It's about LeBron. LeBron in recent years has shown that he can coast at times in the regular season. He's figured out how to manage his minutes and his body, but in high leverage moments, he can turn it on and dust the world, right? And what I'm seeing in this series is here's the high leverage moment, LeBron.
Wow.
Turn it on and dust everybody. And even if you think he's better than KD right now, he's a little better than KD. Like, here's the high leverage moment, and he's not able to turn it on
28
and
and
ignite
10.
the way he did.
Triple-double and a 28, 15, and 6, and you're saying, oh, he's not being able
Compared
to
to his last
Hey, this
finals.
isn't just a feel thing, Marcellus. The stats show those are in the first half. Most of those stats in the first half. First half last night, 5 drives to the basket. You know how many in the second half? 0.
And the defense isn't there.
While
like it used to
KD
be.
is playing
No,
like
the
a
defense
man possessed. He's looking like a man who wants and will take no answers but accepting the NBA Finals trophy. LeBron is playing great, but not like
So
that.
LeBron's the only person that can guard KD, and there's a million people on the
He's
Warriors
not
that can
guarding
guard
him very
LeBron.
well.
It's so easy to show up and
It's not
say,
a fair fight from
it's
that
so
side.
easy.
you're
Look, I'm not taking anything away from Kevin Durant, but it's so easy to show up and say, you know what? Like me, being a defensive lineman, if you don't give me a defensive tackle to give me push, guess what? As a DN, I'm neutralized. But if I got those guys in the middle and I'm sitting here on the edge,
You're
you
gonna
got
kill 'em.
problems. You can't double team everybody. There are at least 2 players on Golden State you have to double team. Right now, because Kyrie is not effective, you don't have to double team anyone but LeBron James.
He's
And
right.
That's the issue.
KD's job is
by
made
himself.
easier by the team he's on. And I will say this. The reason I say it's still LeBron is because LeBron is judged by an unfair standard. It's not really what we're seeing is LeBron isn't lapping the field right now. Yeah. There's real competition. It's getting much closer. And the standards are set so high for LeBron that if someone can make it close, you go, well, maybe the other guy's got it.
not a
No,
fair
it's
fight.
just he's catching up.
It's happening right now.
this
That's
might
all
be
that
the beginning
I'm
of the
calling
process.
what's happening. I'm seeing it, and you're just having a little trouble accepting reality right
Will,
now. It's happening.
If you put LeBron, everybody play this,
Thank
and let's play this little mind experiment. Y'all want it to be that way. All right, admit this.
Marcella's getting
Don't
mad. I
worry.
love
Hey,
it.
we go to Cleveland. We go to Cleveland tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, right. Admit this. If you were able to swap the players,
Yeah.
LeBron on the crew
It's
of
impossible.
Golden State, do you know what LeBron James's numbers would be?
Right.
He would have like 40, 20, and 20. I mean,
And everyone- and
For that
everyone-
thought experiment, you wouldn't go
Yes.
LeBron.
You wouldn't go LeBron.
And
on the
everyone,
Warriors.
and
LeBron on the Warriors.
And everyone would
Stop.
be saying, what's wrong with KD? It's KD. Boy, KD can't hack it in the big moments.
That's an interesting
Stop.
what if. That's
Stop.
an interesting
No, we know
hypothetical.
what it is.
But I'm telling you what is.
Okay.
What is happening right now.
You know what this man is? He's like a fat LeBron James. James. He comes here to hostile territory,
Leave him alone.
all by himself. Everyone's ganging up on him.
And everybody
Sweating, look at that.
fire.
And still shooting, putting up numbers.
Looking tired.
All right, we want you guys to get involved at home. Love this Twitter poll. Can't wait to see the results. Has KD passed LeBron? We'll continue that conversation a little bit later in the show. But when we come back here on First Take from Lake Chalet, this will be not the last time you'll see this play on television. So is Curry making up for last year? The guys will tell you that.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
And Draymond Green has never been afraid to say what's on his mind, but he isn't the most outspoken person in his family. His mom will join us later in the show.
La Quinta presents.
So after the show, First Take is headed to Cleveland. We'll be at the Hoffer House for the rest of the week, but that isn't all. We also have primetime specials tomorrow and Wednesday starting at 7. Doors open 8:30 a.m. Eastern for the morning shows, 5:30 Eastern for the primetime specials, so make sure you show up early and pack the house.
James trying to harass Curry. Curry off the dribble. Layup on the glass. Razzle dazzle at its best.
One-on-one, the two-time MVP against LeBron James. Says, everybody out of my way. Allow me to have this dance. Beautiful. That's Steph Curry with the shot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lake Chalet on this beautiful Monday morning, coming to you from the West Coast. Steph Curry getting payback for last year, gentlemen. You can't hear me?
I hear you.
All right.
They're hyped, though.
This crowd's still hyped from last night. I'll wait till they settle down a little bit.
I know she's saying something.
I should know better. I'll wait till they calm down. I was just saying Steph Curry getting payback from last year. They're showing off his handles, roasting LeBron. He had 32 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. Max, is he making up for last year's finals?
I would like to defer to the distinguished gentleman from Compton for this one.
Okay.
There you go.
Compton's finals?
Then I'm going to attack what he says and take him apart.
You know, it's funny that people are now making this a narrative where it's the one-on-one matchup between Steph and LeBron. Then they say, oh, it's KD and LeBron. LeBron's sitting there saying, damn, how many one-on-one matchups do I have? That said, he's not making up for last year because you can't erase our memories. We saw last year when LeBron James schooled Steph Curry. We also saw last year when he schooled Steph Curry, he let Steph Curry know, this is for you. This is for all those people out there making the assumptions that you're a better player than I am. So when LeBron James blocked his shot, when LeBron James
Scream on him like your dad.
He looked
Bring
at
the ruckus.
He looked at him and sunned him. Do y'all remember that moment when LeBron was like,
oh, yeah. That picture
Steph
was everywhere.
turned away.
All over
and
Twitter.
Steph turned away,
Yeah.
but LeBron gave him eye contact. Watch last night. When Steph Curry went one-on-one with LeBron, but then it didn't turn into one-on-one. Kevin Love got in the way. What the hell are you doing, Kevin Love? Move out the way. And then he makes the shot. Steph Curry knows LeBron is right there, doesn't look at LeBron. You know why? Because he knows one-on-one, I can't do nothing with you. But with KD, with crew, now I'm in the alley looking tough. So if you watch this play, until Kevin Love, David, and then there, right there in that moment, Steph Curry had a chance to redeem himself in terms of man-to-man, you know what this is. But instead, he looks in the crowd, he defers from that moment because he doesn't want it with LeBron. He did not erase last year.
Well, I agree with that psychological profile.
Yeah.
And I want to say something. I take no pleasure in this. I love Steph Curry. I was arguing with Marcellus on Sports Nation last year before the finals. This is Steph's world. He should be the lead in Space Jam 2. Look, you know, because he's the best player in the league. It shouldn't be that way. It wouldn't be that way in any other era, but the way the game is played today, this is Steph, Steph, Steph. I was proven wrong. And when you get new evidence, you got to fess up. Now, Steph Curry, I hate the fact that this is the case with him, but and because he's one of my favorite players. He comes off as a front runner. He comes off as the kind of guy that when the odds are even or when it may be stacked against him a little bit, he doesn't feel like he's giving his teammates heart. He feels like he's toned it down, and maybe he might turn the ball over, or maybe he's hesitant to shoot. And when his team gets the lead or they have overwhelming firepower, he gets very brave. Now, we've all experienced this in our own lives, whether it's, you know, in competitive sports or it might be on the street, right? Where you feel like when things are even or you don't have the upper hand, maybe you're not as boisterous.
Chill out,
as
dog.
when all of a sudden you have superior firepower. So I believe that is true of Steph Curry. I also know that we saw him play less than his best self 2 finals ago.
Yep.
Although he was still the best player on the Warriors. And then last season, although he was physically compromised, again, less than the best version of himself. So, and everything I said would suggest that I agree with you that it doesn't make up for last year. Here's why it makes up for last year. Because this is the truth. This is what LeBron James understood before anyone else understood it. This is what KD caught on to, and this applies to Steph. The details will be washed over by time and history. We will not remember the precise details. But that play, which is going to be probably the most iconic play from this series, where Steph is dribbling all over LeBron's world.
He could have just shot a 3.
Yeah.
But
And then celebrate.
That's how you got open.
When the Warriors win this series, let's say the most likely scenario now is a gentleman's sweep. I think it might go 6 games. You think the Cavs might win. A lot of people say sweep. Let's say a 5-game win for the Warriors looks likely right now. If Steph Curry puts up triple-doubles and the Warriors beat the Cavs in 5 games and he's dribbling all over everyone like that, 20 years from now, no one's going to be talking about, well, you know what, really, technically, that's what they're going to show on all the highlights.
No, they're not.
And that's what people are going to remember.
No, we're going to remember those details. Just think about it. We're going to say, hey, Steph, before you got KD, were you sunning LeBron? Were you dribbling around LeBron? No, you didn't. We're going to see in that frame that, oh, that is a loaded team. We're also going to see that in that moment, Steph Curry, all he did was have a one-on-one highlight moment. That's not saying you're a better player than the other guy. LeBron is going to redeem himself in this series somehow, especially when they get back to Cleveland if his crew can show up.
Do you think Steph's the front runner too?
I think, look, this is how it is. If you're LeBron James, you're like, one-on-one, none of you guys want me.
Yeah.
And we get it, but this is a team sport.
Except KD.
So now, even KD. Look, KD used to practice with LeBron James. Like, go to LeBron James to practice. Why? Because he wanted to go against the best. So now LeBron's like, I've taught all you guys, and now I get it. You're trying to flip the script and try and bring it back to me. But look, does Steph Curry want it with LeBron James one-on-one? Will y'all stop playing?
Let me tell you why your point is wrong. And I will go to another iconic moment in a movie, Coming to America. Now, the barbershop scene, right?
Yeah.
Because they got the way every boxing argument goes in every barbershop, at least it went back then. They talk about fighting. Sugar Ray Robinson, best pound for pound. But Muhammad Ali's too big for him, whatever. What about Mike Tyson? And then eventually some guy would say, what about Rocky Marciano? He was undefeated.
That's their one. That's their one.
That's their one. Always a white guy going to bring up Rocky Marciano. And someone who actually followed the fight game would be like, well, what, Joe Louis? He knocked out Joe Louis. Joe Louis was 137 years old, right? Someone who remembers the details will remember that Marciano didn't really knock out Joe Louis. He knocked out a faded shell of Joe Louis. No one's trying to hear that. That's what Floyd Mayweather knew about the undefeated thing. If nerds like me will be like, well, actually, Floyd never fought this guy in his prime, and that guy was too young, and that guy was too old, and all anyone else knows is that sounds like a whole lot of excuses. All I see was Floyd whip them all, right? So the finer points in those details for some old basketball people, when you and me are on the porch talking to some young kid about it, like, actually, remember, we will be clowned by all those kids who are like, all I know is Steph got him and got all those.
You're going to be like, you don't know your history.
Yeah. That all sounds good. Look, one, I don't want to support ignorance. So say, basically, if you don't know what you're talking about, don't talk about it. People are going to sit there, and this is
You don't believe in dinosaurs. What do you mean?
That's true. That's true. That's beyond
Ignorance is
ignorance
bliss.
right there. But here's the thing, Max. Seriously, Steph Curry has a chance to be in his could win his second finals. Could be in his. He's going to be in his third straight.
Yeah.
And no MVPs. Think about it. Like when people look back at this series, they may say Kevin Durant and the Warriors. And if they look back, they're not going to sit there and say Steph Curry got LeBron. They're going to sit there and say, one, Iguodala got an MVP before you did. And two, a new player came and took it. The master bedroom is
that's a good point.
Kevin Durant's. When is Steph Curry going to be
But
MVP of
you
this
argued
series?
earlier in the show that Steph could get the MVP.
He could.
He could.
Yeah, or what if it's co-MVPs, him and Durant?
Right now, you could argue they could be co-MVPs.
Yeah, but the details
If it
right
ended.
there, if he doesn't
That's
take
right.
full advantage of being the best
right.
on the team.
There
he
are
hasn't
some
yet.
other details that also will make a difference. It would help Steph to win the MVP of this series.
Yep.
Don't let the details get in the way of a good story, gentlemen. Just getting started here from Lake Chalet in Oakland. How much is LeBron to blame for the 0-2 hole? We will get into that. And coming up after the break, someone who isn't afraid to speak her mind, Draymond Green's mom, Mary Favors, is in the house. We'll talk to her.
Holding my hand, I hear him saying, Mama, there go that man. You
like I do, who, allowed me to play with my emotions and, allowed me to be emotional when I'm talking to them and use my emotions to the better for us. It's easy, so just really trying to lead this team as much as I can in the ways that I do for this team. Worrying about the officials and all that. I think at the end of the day, I think everyone talks to officials. I talk to them. But, going over the edge isn't going to win me a championship. I think I'm a pretty smart guy, and I learned my lesson. So I went over the edge before. Fool me once, you can't fool me twice.
Draymond Green has never been shy about speaking his mind, and either has our next guest. Just check out her Twitter account. Thank you so much for being here with us. Draymond's mother, the beautiful Mary Babers.
Yes.
The crowd's pretty excited to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get into last night, though, what's your reaction to that clip and all the heat Draymond takes? One of the dominant storylines leading into this is, can he keep his emotions in check?
I believe he can keep his emotions. One thing about Draymond is that he is emotional. And if you understand that, then you understand who Draymond is. Part of the problem is a lot of people just look at the game, just somebody that's making a shot. There's a whole lot of things that takes place before the shot is even made. Draymond is a part of the Warriors' success, so let Draymond be Draymond.
Now, Ms. Babers, last year, a lot of the fans blamed Draymond for the fact that they didn't win that championship because of the suspension. How did Draymond take that personally, the responsibility of missing that game and maybe costing them the series?
Well, he took it personally because they didn't win the series, but at the same time, everything that took place during that wasn't all Draymond's fault. We all saw it, but you always have someone to blame. So being that Draymond is the one that carries all the weight, he can take it. He handles it, then he just have to figure out how to channel it, come back the next season, and just make amends to what happened.
So Draymond's a guy who goes from, in the draft, an afterthought, maybe he'll be a good rotation piece if things work out just right, to a player now who's not only top 10 in the league, but kind of the prototype of what everyone's looking for. Everyone wants what Draymond can do. What was it in him growing up? What did you instill? What is it about him internally that created the kind of person who could create himself this way?
Well, one thing Draymond always says is that you can't measure heart. And that's something a lot of people don't have. It's part of growing up in the inner city, part of the grind that you have to go through to get to the next step, to get to the next level. And Draymond would never allow anyone else to determine his success. You're only going to go as far as you believe that you can go. If you don't think you can do it, you won't. Draymond has always been able to think, I can do it. Yeah, in my house, it was just like, just do it. Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. Like I said, we was from the grind, Saginaw, Michigan. That's where it all started for Draymond. And you just got to make the best out of a situation.
And now they're up 2-0. After last night, what was your reaction to the game?
Oh, man, I'm just amazed at Kevin Durant. I always thought he was a good player, but now I'm seeing other things, and, I know basketball a little bit. Mm-hmm. And
you think?
And I'm just watching. Kevin Durant has been amazing.
Yeah. People are saying he's better than LeBron.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Ms. Babers. Even she's like,
no. I'll go this far. I used to be a LeBron fan. I will not lie.
Okay.
But hey, I'm a Warrior now, so I got to put that to the back burner. But KD is another animal. We just got to admit.
What do you like
KD
most about
amazing.
what you're seeing?
With KD, everything. I didn't even know KD could play defense. But when you get on a team of guys who are as unselfish as their team is, you just play and you are allowed to be free. So I think he's just free, and you're just like a bird. You just start spreading your wings, and KD just doing that thing.
Well, a lot of times, Draymond is the vocal leader of the team, and he's a great player. But Steph and KD are considered the superstars. Draymond and Clay are considered other star players. Do you think it works, or that Draymond has that personality, but Steph and KD don't seem to? In other words, would it be better for the team if KD or Steph had more of what Draymond has, more of what your son has?
That would be hard for me to say. I don't have this magic ball sitting in front of me. But at the same time, Draymond is who he is, Steph is who he is, and KD is who he is. So that's why it works. I can't be you. You can't be me. So we have to figure out what we can do to help each other with what we have. And I think that's what the Warriors do.
Now, we were talking about Draymond last year in the series, and obviously he's redeeming himself. He's staying in the game and playing well. You said LeBron got in his head. What do you mean by that?
Well, Draymond is a trash talker. So what you do to another trash talker is figure out how to talk trash. You know what I'm saying? So when you figure out what moves someone else, you can use what they do against you. And I think that's what LeBron did.
You can talk some trash, too. We've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah.
we know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, is it true Draymond deleted your account, your Twitter account?
He deleted my Twitter, my Facebook, yeah.
How do you do that? What, do you take the phone out?
How's that
play keep away?
situation, how's the situation going right now?
It's going good. I mean, first of all, he only deleted because I allowed him to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not like I was, it's kind of funny at the time that he gets on it. You know everything about me, so you know all my past. Everything has always been the same. So you could do that, but it's not like I can't create another one, you know.
Could you imagine being Draymond Green and having someone in your life where you're like, boy, I got to keep that person under control?
Yeah.
That could be a problem.
Draymond can punk everybody on the court, but then goes home, and then you got to deal with this.
Right.
That's
Are you nervous at all about them heading to Cleveland? You think the Cavs will get a game? Honestly, tell the truth. You think it's going to be a sweep?
I want a sweep.
You don't think it's a sweep. I can see it in your eyes.
I don't.
You think they're going to get a game?
I think they'll get one.
Okay. I think we're kind of all on
It
that
starts
same
with one.
page right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It starts with one.
But hey, the bright side is they'd win it back here. Mary, thank you so much for being with us. We
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
you. When we come back from Midtown for the second straight season, LeBron is an 0-2 hole, but how much is he to blame? Jeff Van Gundy with the hottest of hot takes on Kevin Durant and Golden State. The guys will tell you if they agree after the break.
Okay, platinum.
After the show today, First Take is heading to the land. We'll be at the Hoffer House for the rest of the week, but that isn't all. We also have primetime specials tomorrow and Wednesday starting at 7 Eastern. So doors open 8:30 a.m. Eastern for the morning shows, 5:30 Eastern for the primetime specials. Make sure you show up early and pack the house. It's going to be a good time.
LeBron, you're supposed to you guys just need to defend home court at this point?
Well, I mean, are you a smart guy?
I think so. Sure.
I think so, right? So if we don't defend home court, what happens?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm asking you.
Well, yeah, then you guys are looking at getting swept.
All right. So to answer your question.
LeBron, did you get any? Are you going to need? Did you get any, or will you need any IVs?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Just need some food and some wine. I'll be all right.
Hey, LeBron. Usually you're a podium guy. I mean, in the finals especially. Is just coming doing this in the locker room any reason for that?
Yeah, there's a reason.
You want to share?
No.
When Kyrie's having a rough night.
It has nothing to do with wins and losses, though.
Reporters just taking care of a little town business right there. First Take coming back to you from Lake Chalet here in Oakland. This crowd is so hype. Our First Take fans traveling like always. We appreciate them, and of course you at home. Halftime here on First Take. And you guys just saw it. LeBron, he was in a mood, gentlemen.
some kind of way.
He was feeling some kind of way. He was a little chippy there.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the post-game press conference. He took questions from the locker room. He just needs a little food, a little wine. Will, I'll start with you. How much of the Cavs' issues are on LeBron's shoulders?
Well, a lot. I mean, that's what being a leader is. We had this discussion the other day. Leadership is not about getting yourself motivated. Leadership is not about getting yourself ready to play. It's about getting those around you ready to play. It's about dictating the way the game is played. The last I looked, basically, LeBron James is the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, David Griffin has a job as well. He does a fine job, but it's LeBron James. If he wants Kevin Love, he gets Kevin Love. If he wants to come back and play with Kyrie, he gets to come back and play with Kyrie. He gets the players around him. So if he has a problem with his squad, as you keep saying, that he's not crewed up, by the way, Kevin Love is averaging, 22 a game?
Oh,
he had
balling.
27 last night.
Yeah,
Kevin Love is playing.
Yeah.
So if there's a problem with this squad, well, that's partly on LeBron. How about the way they're playing? Pace of the game. 108-point pace last night, way above what the Cavs are used to playing. Well, that's on Ty Lue, but you know who else is the coach of that team? LeBron. LeBron is GM, he's coach, he's player. We talked about his defensive woes. In all three phases, the Cavs are failing. That's on the leader, LeBron.
They are grown men, and this isn't their first rodeo for Kevin Love and Kyrie. Let's keep that in mind.
Well, but leadership exists. It's true. They're grown men. But there's a reason that people hire motivational speakers. There's a reason why you have head coaches in your football locker room to tell you when it's time to get ready to play. Some guys need that message. Not everybody. Some guys are grown men. And if you're the leader of the team, it's on you to make sure.
Well, it's great to hear. And I understand leader can be audible and you can say something that can motivate me. But ultimately, that's on me, the player. Ultimately, it's on me, the individual, to step up to that situation. Look, before I need to hear it, I want to see it. And that's the difference between this team and Golden State. Cleveland is sitting there saying, Kyrie, there was a conversation of you being top 10 maybe this year. Let's see how you play. In these finals right now, you're dropping out of those rankings. But then you look at the other side, you see Golden State, and they got two guys in the top three. Steph and KD are sitting there saying, I'm 2, you're 3. No, you're 2, I'm 3. Whatever that is, they have a better team that is actually showing up. Respect. That said, LeBron James, the only thing I will blame him for is his defensive issues so far. And it's only happening because he's out of balance, because he's trying to do so much that he's not taking care of his responsibility fully.
And because Father Time is undefeated.
Well, Father Time is undefeated, but we know in the NBA it's a team defense game as well, and you need your team to help you on defense. So when you don't have Tristan Thompson has 8 rebounds in the first 2 games. 8 rebounds when he averaged 10 per game last time in the NBA Finals. You look at J.R. Smith. He hit the first shot of Game 1 and hasn't made a bucket since. You look at his team, they're not showing up as expected, as advertised.
Look, the reason I let you two waste all that time is because I knew that you really wouldn't address the question. Let me explain what this question's about. Is this all on LeBron? Yes, but not because of these details. Why is it all on LeBron? What's all on LeBron? The Golden State Warriors are better than the Cavs. Nothing the Cavs can do. Golden State Warriors have overwhelming firepower because, as I said, and as LeBron pointed out after Game 1, they added KD to a 73-win team. So why is it all on LeBron? Because LeBron was the modern athlete who figured out, as I said earlier, details in the end aren't going to matter. They're going to be counting chips. Let me go join a super team. And he joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. Then when they started getting a little long in the tooth, he looked over at Cleveland and said, Kyrie. Yeah. Remember them playing in the All-Star game together. I kept watching LeBron feed Kyrie. Thinking, LeBron likes playing with this guy. Even when LeBron's on ball and Kyrie is off ball, there's something there. I want to play with Kyrie. He has crazy upside. We need someone else. Oh, they got the #1 pick in the draft? Flip that into Kevin Love. Okay, so LeBron figured that out and basically created unfair advantage teams. Nothing wrong with that. Jerry West created an unfair advantage team with the Lakers when he traded for Kareem, or when Kareem was on the team, and then they drafted Magic and they pulled off a heist for James Worthy in the draft. That was an unfair team. Red Auerbach did the same thing in Boston with Bird and McHale and those guys. Unfair team. Same thing happened in Chicago. Jordan, Pippen, Kukoc, Rodman, unfair team. But LeBron was the athlete who said, I'm not going to rely on the man to do it. I'm the man. I'm going to do it. And KD looked at that and said, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. The difference is KD didn't try to construct his own team. KD went to a team with outstanding player development. Steph Curry was the 7th pick in the draft. Klay Thompson the 11th. These weren't the top 3 picks in the draft. Draymond Green the 2nd-round draft pick. But because of player development on the Warriors, where they not only coach him up, but they coach him up in a system, Durant just slotted himself into that and said, okay, LeBron, I got your message. This is on LeBron because he showed these guys the way, and KD just upped the ante. It's all on LeBron. Drop the mic!
That was a pretty hot take, Max. I'll give you that.
Marcellus.
I've heard it before, though.
I think the truth is the position that both Max and I hold on this is one of respect for LeBron. It's not a respectful position for LeBron what we just debated a few segments earlier, the best player or second best player on the face of the planet, to look around and blame those around him when he's had a hand in A, setting the historical precedent, B, being the GM of this team and creating this specific roster, C, dictating the way they play as essentially a player coach, and D, as being a player who's not playing defense on the court. That's respect, telling you you're better than this. This is on you, LeBron. If your team is performing this way, It's your fault.
It's not on LeBron. LeBron is sitting there saying, and the reason why LeBron's in that locker room physically, he probably wants to get some extra treatment, some extra work, and the podium press conference is not the priority right now. Take care of your body. Second part is, let's be real. LeBron James in his mind is thinking, I don't lose to that team. I don't care if KD is there or not if my team is with me. Think about it. When Golden State won the finals, it's because no Kyrie basically after game one and no Kevin Love the entire series. Last year when he had his crew and they played, Kevin Love didn't play well, but Kyrie went there. Now, all he's saying is just show up. I'm not telling you guys be LeBron James in your own world. Just be Kyrie. Be Kevin Love. Be Tristan Thompson. We can handle this.
They can play better. We all agree. But how much of a role does LeBron have in that? When we celebrate you as a historic figure for coming back 3-1 last year, we also look at your failure to do that this year so far and say it's on you.
What else can he do?
This is KD going to the Warriors. It would be like LeBron going to the Spurs. It's not, LeBron's trying to put this team together, Frankenstein it. Kyrie never won without. Even Kyrie and Kevin Love, when LeBron doesn't play, I know the team's geared around LeBron, but if you're in the freaking East and you have Kyrie, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, and shooters everywhere, you shouldn't have a sub-500 record when LeBron doesn't play, but they do. KD went to a system, to a machine, and put them over the top. LeBron, you showed him the way. Did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? Yeah, he did. He did.
All right, Max, I got another hot take for you. This one we don't need the microwave for. Paging Jeff Van Gundy.
One of the best duos to play together, maybe ever. Kevin Durant coming off the pick and roll. That's just unguardable. And Steph Curry. Yeah, I said it. The best to play ever together.
Max Kell?
Yes.
Best tandem ever?
Well,
KD, Chef Curry?
This pains me to go at Coach this way because Coach Jeff Van Gundy was the great coach of my beloved Knicks in my teenage years. And he is an unbelievably great broadcaster. Let me just say that. I don't want him to ever coach again because I need to listen to him on the games like all day. He should be on every basketball coverage. Every show should have Jeff Van Gundy. That said, he has lost his mind. KD and Steph are not even in the conversation. I will give you 3 pairs that they will never be better than. Okay. Jordan and Pippen. Look, if you had to take a player right now, Pippen or Steph, I think I'd take Pippen. That's a Pippen. And Pippen, Scottie Pippen. Look, compare their defense. Is Steph a better offensive player? Yes, but compare their defense. And when Jordan retired, Pippen was one of the 2 best players in the NBA, along with Hakeem Olajuwon.
And they won 55 games.
And they won 55 games, and a bad call stopped them from going to the finals. Pippen was a great two-way player, and Jordan's the best of all time by a margin. How about Kareem and Magic? At the end of his prime, Kareem, who was still the MVP of the league, with a point guard who, as a rookie, when Kareem went down, dropped 42, 15, and 7 as a center in the finals. You're never going to catch Kareem and Magic, the greatest center and point guard to ever do it, right? I mean, that's just not going to happen. How about Kobe and Shaq? Explain to me, like, put those 4 guys in order. Shaq 1, Kobe 2, KD 3, Steph 4. So if your best player is not as good as the second best player in the other duo, how are you better than that duo? Let alone guys like Wilt and Jerry West, and there are all different kinds of combinations that are on this level. But the 3 I just mentioned, Steph and KD, simply don't have a chance to be better than.
Yeah, I can't say Jordan Pippen, even though Jordan, the greatest player of all time, Pippen, not a top 10 player all time. So by those
tipping the scales for you with that.
No. Let's go LeBron, D-Wade. Damn you, D-Wade. Why'd you get old when LeBron showed up? Kobe, Shaq is probably the top of that pyramid.
The 2 best players in the game are on the same team.
You got a young Kobe and you got a prime Shaq. Oh, that's a lot. Magic, Kareem, obviously. But we saw Kareem coming down the hill a little bit as Magic was ascending. So I was
downhill for Kareem is still looking down on everyone's head.
With an inoffensive shot. Right. I give you that. But for this duo, one, we got to respect that. Are we even at halftime of this duo? Or are we in the 3rd quarter of this duo?
No.
They are still writing chapters.
We're warming up.
Hey, right. And all time, where will Steph and where will KD be? Just hypothetically. You already know you probably could say top 20 KD for sure. And Steph, it depends on how we marginalize his defensive play. But I think he's going to be a top 25, 30-ish player. That said, that combo's not enough. That combo's not enough to get on the court. One, if they play 2-on-2 basketball and Kobe and Shaq walked out, and Steph and KD showed up, they would say, don't even shoot. Don't even play.
You guys.
That is not a chance.
Okay, first
Not
of all,
a chance.
you're right, Coach Gundy is a little early to this party, okay? Like, I like to come early, clearly, to the party, but this is a little much for me.
Yeah.
They don't compare to the names you guys are rattling off.
No.
I would add Duncan and Parker. When they were in their prime
I would
together,
not want to
they
hear
were-
that. No.
But the
Duncan
key,
and Parker?
Duncan and Robinson for a year,
Yeah,
maybe.
Duncan and Robinson, 99 or something.
but the key to this question is the first word in the sentence, can. Can is about the future.
Yeah.
And you started to get to it, Marcellus. This is the first year these two were together.
That's true.
And we're having a conversation, granted, very, very early, Max. Very, very early, thanks to Coach
No one's
Van
at the
Gundy.
party. No.
Just Jeff right now. But when this thing is all said and
Party's
done,
on Tuesday, you're there on Sunday.
when this thing's all said and done, these guys can be part of this conversation. They can be part of this party. It's year one. You're looking at possibly the best team. We had this debate yesterday. The best team in the history of the NBA playing right now, led by these two guys. If these two guys continue to play together for, what are we looking at, 3, 4, 5 more years like this, stacking rings on top of each other, it's a lot to get to 6.
Do you agree with
It's a lot
that?
to get
I would
to
say
6.
this, if you're talking about overall team accomplishment and then take the two best players on the team, you can have an argument. But
Yeah, it's not a 2-on-2
The
game.
problem is that Steph is simply too small, really, to be in the conversation, and it manifests itself in the defense. You know, I mean, so there's that. And even in his offense, Steph is incredibly well adapted for this offensive era. There's no question about it. But even then, he's really not one of the two best offensive players. So the defensive liabilities, the kind of cap on the offense, as great as KD is, it's just not enough. Because it's always relative. You're comparing them. When Shaq and Kobe were on the same team, they were the two best players in the league. 1 and 2 were on the same team in the early and later parts of their prime. When Kareem and Magic were on the same team, they were 2 of the 3 or 4 best players in the world and the greatest center and point guard of all time, at least in the modern era, on the same team. And Jordan and any crime partner who's going to be a Hall of Famer is going to be tough to beat. So
You're saying it's never going to happen
He's
because
saying
of
it's
that?
impossible. He's saying it's impossible.
The qualifier has to be one of the two has to be the best player in the game. Just think about that. And
That's
right
going
now,
to happen.
Well, it's
That's
not,
going to happen.
It's not there yet.
You sure?
It's
not
happening.
there
How
yet.
about Anthony Davis? How about Karl Anthony Towns? There are other guys, not just KD, in the league who are really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have that debate when you're ready. KD versus those guys?
Yeah, Anthony Davis, I wouldn't say
Don't
if
worry,
KD's
we got plenty
better
more
than
shows.
Anthony
We
Davis,
actually
it's
got
by this
double
point.
headers the
Anthony
next 2
Davis
days,
versus
so
KD.
we can get into all
Anthony
that.
Davis might be
All
better
right.
than KD right now, as a matter of fact.
All right, let's save
Anthony
that.
Davis,
We'll save
game
that.
for
Our
game, might have been better
producer
than KD for the
We're
last
going to take
year.
a quick break here.
that might be real.
KD pulling off magic, but has he passed LeBron? Weigh in on Twitter. We want to see those results. We'll share them a little later in the show. Coming up after the break, Golden State Warriors superfan Mr. Bam in the house. There he is. First take from Lake Chalet. Stay here.
Tonight, 111-97 Golden State. And Love blocked by Durant. His 5th rejection of the game. Oh, he puts it in. Largest lead of the night. 31 for Durant.
I see two guys who lock in the way they are. That's why we're up 2-0.
You know, we just got to figure out how we can be better in game 2.
Good day. Thank you so much for joining us. First take at the NBA Finals, Lake Chalet in Oakland. It's a beautiful day out here. And now our next guest, he's a hip-hop artist. He's a songwriter. Most importantly for this crowd, they're so hyped right now. He's an Oakland native. We welcome Mr. Fab to the First Take desk. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite.
Now, you didn't jump on the bandwagon. You've been a fan. You've been a season ticket holder of these Warriors for over a decade. What was your reaction after last night's game?
Last night was a good game, man, but it's just another game. You're playing against a great organization and what Cleveland has, and they're a great team. All we did
What are
was
you, an
defend.
assistant coach?
Is this coach? Coach speak a little nervous?
All we
He is.
did was defend home court.
Yeah.
Are you traumatized after last year? Is that
Yeah.
what's
I think
happening?
so.
I'm
No.
expecting
You've been listening to me,
more
huh?
bravado after those
No,
two games.
I'm not a biased fan. You know, we're being realistic. The Cavs possibly have the greatest player on earth on their team, arguably. And at any given night, he can go out and produce. Two good people, Kyrie and LeBron coming together on any given night, they can beat any team in history's past. So we just did what we had to do. We defended home court and 2 more games. So the first 1 or 2, to me, it doesn't matter if we sweep, if we go 5, if we go 7, as long as we get 4 before they get 4.
Now, let's be real. How much of that reservation is truthfully based off of what happened last year and the fact and maybe the fear that it could happen again?
This has nothing to do with last year. We're definitely a total different team.
What y'all want to do?
It's Marcellus, I mean,
Better hope Jonathan Ogden isn't in the audience.
It's a total different team. This is not Harrison. And Harrison is a great friend of mine, real good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I'm not up here to, scrutinize his character or anything, but Kevin Durant is a different specimen, man. And this guy is going out there and he's playing with I'm not little brother anymore, LeBron. And he has that chip on his shoulder. When you seen yesterday in the third quarter, I think LeBron was getting a little rough with him and trying to bully him up a little bit. He responded with not only a 3-point shot, but a move in LeBron's face like, okay, listen, I'm not playing with you, boy.
Yeah.
And, I ain't playing with you, boy.
As a season ticket holder for over a decade, so you were there for the whole ride,
Yeah.
So you see it coming together, and then Mark Jackson, and he's instilling confidence. They're still not really moving the ball, but you could see there's something there, and then Steve Kerr comes in, the offense gets fluid, and they bring in more pieces, and now KD, and it looks like it's put over the top. Can you describe what it's like being from the area, having those tickets, spending that money, showing up to the games through the lean years, and then seeing the whole process, and now you're on the precipice of greatness?
I've been blessed with even positioning, with being in position of getting in the games how we were getting in the games years ago. And I met a guy named Jeff Tuttle and Mike Sherman. They own actually 12 seats in the front row, and they brought me in like a nephew and like a son. So to be able to be embraced by those guys like that, man, to get those seats that's a blessing as well.
Just as someone in the Bay Area,
we enjoyed the process, Max.
Mm-hmm.
What we did was we enjoyed the process. As you alluded to earlier, this team was brought by. We picked these guys. We had Steph. We had Clay. We had Draymond going 35th, you know what I'm saying, in the second round. We picked this team, and then the nucleus of it coming together with Kevin Durant coming in, just like you said, put us over the top. So enjoying the process. Mark Jackson was a great motivator. I think I heard someone saying earlier, we need motivators in our life, and we need mentors. And the motivation of this team was definitely brought to fruition from Mark Jackson's philosophy.
Does that make it, easier? From the rest of the world's point of view, Stephen A. Smith has called KD's move the weakest move he's ever seen from a superstar in the history of basketball or in the history of American team sports. But from a Warriors fan's point of view, I'd probably be thinking, hold on, these were not super high draft picks. This was built organically from the draft and from coaching and from player development. We're not allowed to sign one free agent. We can't sign a single superstar free agent.
If we talk about that, we talk about let's put this on. As basketball, it's a team's position from the front office to the players to build a great team. Do we want to say, are we throwing a slat at David Griffin, or are we accrediting Bob Myers for building this team and Jerry West for building this team? But this isn't the first time that this has happened. We look at the Detroit Pistons. We look at when Adrian Dantley was traded for Mark Aguirre, and they were able to build a stronger nucleus to get stronger.
Moses Malone going to the Sixers.
After they had lost to the Sixers. So we're talking about, this isn't the first time this is going. But in today's time, with the millennials and with social media being as rampant as it is, it's more visible and it's more highlighted. So you can't villainize Kevin Durant for making a decision to want to be a winner. How can you be mad at someone who wants to win?
Has the media and the fans and social media and all the scrutiny and criticism of KD coming here dampened the feeling at all for Warriors fans this year? Like, yeah, y'all won, but you're supposed to win.
Not at all.
It hasn't taken away from the joy of the whole thing?
Because you're not supposed to win. We did a team as what we went and put a team together with hopes of winning. And we're winning.
But you're the favorites, too. So that is supposed to win.
But at the end of the day...
You're just saying he's wrong.
Yeah, basically. It's anonymous for a reason.
At the end of the day, we have a great team.
Yeah.
On paper, we're a better team. And on that court, we're showing that we're a better team. But at the end of the day, it's the NBA. So on any given night, anyone can beat anyone.
That's fair, especially when it's LeBron. But speaking of signing players, your first cousin's Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. How happy are you that he's back in the Bay playing football?
Oh, Raider fans make some noise. He's just...
Like your chances this year to do something?
Oh, we know why he's here. He's just here so he can win the championship, man. We want to be able to give both Oakland teams a championship before they leave, because that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's the city. You know what I mean? It's the city, Oakland, and it's town business. We just want to be able to go to the championship.
I've asked all our Oakland, or many of our Oakland guests or Bay Area guests about about the renaissance in Bay Area sports in recent years. The Raiders are on the rise, and that was after the Niners were good for a while, really good. The Giants win the World Series like every other year. Andre Ward is undefeated, and even like boxing, you look at every kind of corner of the sports world and their championships or top competitors in the Bay Area. So what's that been like to live through the renaissance here?
It's a great time right now, and I just wish Billy Bean would get everything together. And, the money ball situation of hopefully that he could bring these A's in. We had a great chance to win with that organization. But it's great, man. Like Hammer said a couple days ago, something in the water. And the champions out here, they're actually doing and they're prevailing. And it's a great time. What a time to be alive for the Bay Area, not only as sports fans, but as the regular everyday life people out here, man, with something to cheer about. Because outside of sports, it's pretty dampened and morbid. But it's something to cheer for, and it's something to take your mind away from the things that's going on in the world today, man. And it's just a great feeling.
Quoting Hammer on the show a couple days ago, that means you're watching every morning.
I watch every day. I watch every day. That's why I don't appreciate how you keep going against us like this, and you keep dogging us. I don't appreciate that.
And I wouldn't either. But it sounds like it's
working. Enough going your way.
You came on the show whispering. You came on the show, I'm a Golden State fan. I've been for 10 years. I don't know if we're going to win. I respect the organization.
Just humble. Just humble. Just humble.
Is it working?
You don't want to be overly confident, and then it comes back and slaps you in the face. But at the end of the day, man, you want to be assertive. A lot of people try to throw Kevin Durant under the bus when he said, I don't care if we win. We just want to go out and play basketball. I'm just happy to be here. But in actuality, we know he wants to win. He's just being humble. So when we go to that parade, the whole city looks on, and we're on that float, and everybody's smiling. But before I get out of here, man, I lost my mother to cancer as well, so I want to send condolences to Stephen A. and anyone else that may be going through that, as well as to the people and with the recent effects of the shooting today. I don't know if you guys heard about that. And then the people of London. Just wanted to approach that real quick, man. And condolences to the world.
Appreciate you saying that. We miss Stephen A. being here for sure. Looking forward to him coming back soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
I want to end on a heavy note. So, that float that y'all were supposed to be on last year, hopefully y'all got the reservations.
Will you be there?
I'm not.
We need you there.
You might not even use it this year. So, let's see how it goes.
He's on it. It won't float.
I need my own float.
All right. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much. When we come back here on First Take, who is the best player in the world right now? Weigh in on Twitter. We'll share those results a little later in the show. And coming up, Big Shot Bob in the house.
Big Bob, Big Shot Bob.
Check out that jacket. Thank you so much. More First Take after the break. How are you? Good to see you.
Robert.
Bob, baby. How you doing, baby? Good? All right.
What's up, man?
How you feeling?
Good.
Will it be?
Welcome back into Lake Chalet in Oakland. First Take on the road for the NBA Finals, and we have a champion with us. Our next guest spent 16 seasons in the NBA, won 7 titles for 3 different teams, and was nicknamed Big Shot Bob for his clutch shooting. We welcome Robert Horry to the desk, who's not wearing this jacket for no reason. You're joining us on behalf of Taco Bell and their Steal a Game, Steal a Taco promotion.
Exactly.
Are you ever going to wear that jacket again?
Oh, man, yeah. I'm looking sharp, man. I got my tacos on my jacket.
Boy, that's the biggest check you ever got. What the hell you wearing?
Hey, get you a couple, get you a couple of tacos. Got still a taco,
You got a
man.
Gordito over there, too?
Let me just say this. These fans right now should be happy I'm wearing this jacket because it looks like they might steal a game. Next game, game 3. So they get, America gets free tacos, man. That's what I'm saying.
Nothing wrong with some Taco
I'm
Bell.
a man of the people.
Oh, yeah, you are. So you think we still have a series here?
Yeah, we still have a series. Yes, we still have. The thing is, you cannot count out the king. The king is going home. He's going to get a little rest. And I think they're going to realize we cannot run with these guys. We need to play our game, go home and do their thing. And I think they'll regroup.
I mean, you can't count him out, but he's got at least a standing 8 count right now. 7, 8. They're getting pretty close. So you say your favorite athlete ever is Michael Jordan, correct? Is that correct?
My favorite athlete? No.
No? Well, this says right here. It's right here in the. Oh, sorry. Wrong. Right. We switched guests. That's Jamar Moore.
It's all good.
You want to remix?
That's my favorite athlete, though.
Who is your favorite basketball player of all time?
My favorite basketball player growing up was Magic Johnson. I love Magic. I just thought, because, you know, for me, I looked at players that were tall like me, and I looked at Magic, and I said, okay, this is what I want to be like. Then I realized Magic Johnson has a lot of turnovers, so I like, okay, I moved over to Scottie Pippen. I said, because he's more of my type.
And when you were coming up, they used to say, hey, he's reminiscent of Scottie Pippen in certain ways when you were on Houston.
Yeah, I love Scottie Pippen. I used to watch him play all the time and try to emulate him. Then I realized I don't like dribbling the basketball this much. I'd rather just stand in the corner and shoot. So, you know, those two guys I really love growing up, and I try to emulate them as much as possible. Then again, you know, there's certain guys you can't emulate, and you just have to be yourself. And then I decided just to be Robert Ory, a killer from three.
A killer from three and a killer on D, too.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up, though, is besides it being switching the guests in the notes, is that LeBron is now in this Michael Jordan conversation. Everyone wants to put him in. I think people were anticipating a closer series so far, more competitive games, 1 and 2 at least. Where do you stand on that issue?
You know, I think people always want to compare players, and I think they need to just stop it and let guys be themselves. You know, Durant's going to be Durant, Clay's going to be Clay, you know, Kyrie Irving's going to be himself, and we always want to say, oh, he's the next greatest thing. But if you look at him, one's a guard, one's a forward, and you can't really compare the guys because they do different things. And it's not fair to either athlete, and everybody's always going to think they're the best. Hell, I think I'm the best ever played. You're supposed to think that as an athlete. I'm sure you thought you was the best, right?
No, he was the one who didn't.
And you're supposed to have that confidence and that cockiness about yourself. And if you look back, you can never actually compare the guys unless they went head-to-head at the of time when both of them were at their primes.
All right, don't lie to me. You ever see Michael Jordan just laugh at him and be like, you may be the GOAT, but I got more rings than you did, dog? You ever look at him like that? Like,
yeah, and I do the same thing to him, but no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. And that's one of those things people always judge you by your rings. You cannot do that. You know, you got to look at people that played on great teams like Karl Malone, one of the greatest power forwards ever played the game. He just happened to run into Michael Jordan. There's always going to be somebody out there with a better team than you and better players than you. So you cannot judge these players because, okay, he doesn't have this many rings, so he wasn't this good of a player. That's just stupid.
But because you do have 7 rings on 3, the Rockets and the Spurs and the Lakers, you have a better understanding than most of what makes a championship team. If you had to put your finger on the one thing that separates out the champions from everyone else, what is it?
It's just knowing each other like the back of our hands. You look at these guys, if you look at the way the Warriors are playing right now, they're playing like one person. They know where each other's going to be all the time. If you look at Cleveland, like they're changing their plays constantly. Like, I don't know where you're going. I don't know where this guy's going. You got to know each other like the back of your hand. These guys aren't doing that. Cleveland's like, which way do you go? Where are you going? What you doing? That causes a lot of those turnovers. And you got to be one. You look at the teams that we had, even the 95 Rockets, we didn't know what we were doing until the finals came around, until the playoffs came around, because we had just got Clyde in a big trade and we didn't understand the dynamics of his game. And once we started knowing him, we just rolled everybody.
So how do you do that? Like, is there a way to get there to play as one?
Communication, man. You got to talk. You got to say, hey, I don't like to do this. I don't like to do this, but I love to do this. And a lot of guys now are so afraid to talk to each other because their feelings get hurt so easily. I'm like, if I don't want you to throw me the ball over here, don't throw me the ball. And I tell you that, well, I just got to give you the ball where you can get it. And these guys get so upset now. You know, I tell people all the time, you yell at your kids, you spank your kids. I know people are going to get mad, but when I say spank, just like smack them on the hand, not beat them up, down.
No, we get it.
I know how kids get. You know, yeah, but so at the end of the day, you still love them, and you're just going to have arguments. You got to realize to let it go. And nowadays, these guys, they hold a grudge.
Grow thicker skin and communicate.
Yeah, you got to communicate.
How impressed are you with KD so far?
I am super impressed. You know, to be honest with you, he was my MVP this year until he got hurt. And if you look at his stats across the board, they're great. They're just tremendously better than any season he's played. And I think it gets overshadowed because of the team he's on. But if you go back, he's better on defense. He's better on offense. He's shooting incredibly from 3. He should have been MVP this year if he wouldn't have got hurt. You know, no disrespect to those other 3 guys, but I think he would have been MVP if he'd have stayed healthy.
Now, your name is Big Shot Bob. So obviously there's some secret sauce about, in big moments, how you played your best. And right now we're seeing some guys not do that. Kyrie Irving comes to mind right now. This year, this finals, not the same Kyrie Irving. What is that secret sauce in those moments that you can elevate your game?
You gonna pay me for that secret sauce?
Well, Taco Bell, I got another.
They already paid me for this, so you gotta pay me for that. No, you know the key is.
Secret sauce.
Exactly.
You want some secret sauce to go to the jacket?
You know, here's the thing is, a lot of guys put so much pressure on. Like right now, I guarantee he's thinking about the individual matchup that's going on with Curry, and he's thinking about that. You cannot think about it. You just got to play basketball, and when you go out and you think too much, it messes up your game. And I guarantee you, he's worried about, I got to get the better matchup. I got to do exactly what I did last year. I used to always tell myself, there are more important things in life than basketball. This is just a game we played, started out as kids for fun, and then we made it to a career. Just enjoy the moment and just play and let everyone have that.
Paralysis by overanalysis.
Exactly.
Why does that seem to change? For in other words, last year that seemed to be Steph. This year it's Kyrie. We have a tendency to think that once a guy reveals that, that's who he is. Why do you think it flipped this year?
Well, I think it flipped. Last year they put so much pressure on themselves because they had the best record in the NBA, and so they went out and said, we gotta win the championship. Exactly, and then. You lost Draymond Green in that one game, and all of a sudden the momentum changes. That's all you need is one little switch to flip, and the momentum changes. So this series is, I know we asked me this earlier, is it over? It's not over yet because anything can happen. You can get an injury. Look at what happened to Golden State. They should have lost game 1 against the Spurs, but Kyrie gets hurt, they win that game. So it's a lot of things that can happen. So the series is still wide open until that last buzzer and that trophy is being brought in.
It is amazing that they were getting their butts whipped when Kawhi was in the game, and then Kawhi went out, and the Warriors have destroyed the league since then.
Thank you, Zaza. Robert, thank you so much. Appreciate you and Taco Bell. Making me hungry right now.
Where are tacos at?
Right? Seriously.
You don't bring us tacos.
You messed up. Until someone steals a game, you don't get your tacos to June 13th.
Got it.
And then to the end of the finals to June 20th. You got to win a game on the road.
KD, two wins away here from winning a chip, but is he already the best player on the planet? Go on Twitter, vote. We'll get into that a little later. Coming up after the break, Emmy Award-winning actor Shamar Moore. You know who he's repping. First Take Day here.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living, no home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired a
Let him know. Back at the crib.
Back here.
Back home.
98, you said, huh? 98?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. They see the Hollywood stuff and all that, but home sweet home, 98th Avenue behind the Coliseum, born on Ashland Avenue, Kaiser Hospital. Yeah.
And before we get into it, hey, congrats on your new show getting picked up.
SWAT
on
in the
CBS?
building. SWAT 2017. Yes. It's I've had a blessed career, 24 years strong, but honestly, everything built up to this is a dream job. SWAT is coming back. Everybody knows the franchise. I'm old enough for the show in the 70s, and then 15 years ago there was LL Cool J and Sam Jackson, Colin Farrell, Michelle Rodriguez. They did the movie, and so we're doing the reboot. So SWAT is back 2017. I'm playing Hondo in the building.
Good stuff. You know what else is good stuff? Your Warriors. How are you feeling about them?
Here, let me tell you a little history, just so you know that I'm not just faking the phone about wearing all this gear.
All right,
okay.
You're legit.
When I was born Kaiser Hospital, it was Ricky Henderson and Dwayne Murphy of the A's. Then fast forward with the A's.
Center field and left field.
Yeah, I was at Battle of the Bay in it was '89 when the earthquake hit. I was standing in line for hot dogs when it was Mark McGuire and Canseco, the Smash Brothers, and then running around the Coliseum. Dave Stewart for the A's. I was a pitcher in college, so this is my left hand. That's as far as my fingers will go. I couldn't throw a circle change, so he had me stretch out my fingers so I could.
Man.
So I could.
I hope you could throw it now.
Right, so I could throw that drop off the table. But the Warriors, World Be Free. Bernard King. All right, I was 8 years old, and now all these years later, it's just so fun for Oakland, for the town to be on the map with the Splash Brothers, Draymond, and it's so fun. It's so fast, and the game has changed. And Steph and Clay and Draymond, all those guys, you know, all these kids now making it rain. You know, but the game is so fun, and just to see Oakland on the map and winning like this with the Raiders and
now, Shamar, you mentioned the Splash Brothers. You mentioned Draymond. You didn't say KD not once. You know he's on your team.
No, he is. No. I'm with
everything
all,
okay
KD.
with KD?
No, KD.
You noticed that too?
Yes.
Yeah. No KD love.
Yeah.
Well, KD, I'm a big fan. I got respect for everybody in the game. I get LeBron as a big. No, I'm so happy for KD, and then forget all that. Oh, he took the easy way out. Now you get in this game to get that ring, you know, and that's the dream. And he's
see what he was doing. He was bringing up that he's a fan of all the players originally, Ricky Henderson and everybody. And, So Kevin Durant just got here. Yeah. Got to give him a minute.
Yeah, he got to earn his stripes, but he about to get it. But I mean, KD is a beast, and he's putting it down. You see how bad he wants it.
Yeah.
They all want it. But this means something to him. Just by the way he's balling, it means something to all of them. Then what happened last year? Man, them last 2 minutes, So, and these 20 game margins, these wins, and like, you want to see them tight. But I ain't mad. Smack him in the mouth. Just smack him in the mouth.
Now, I asked Robert Horry this because you guys flip-flopped in our rundown. It's you whose favorite athlete ever is Michael Jordan. It better be, or some producers have loved it.
My favorite basketball player is Michael Jordan.
Favorite basketball player. So what do you think about the LeBron-Jordan comparisons?
It's so tough. It's a different time. I mean, we can make the conversation real short, but there's a bunch of buts. Real short, because I think I respect LeBron. He's a beast. He's a freak of nature. Jordan did 3 years. I mean, he did a bunch of years before he started winning, but then he went 3-0, and then he left to play baseball, and he wasn't all that good. Then he came back and won 3 more, and at the end of the day, he's 6-0. End of conversation. All right. But I will say the game is different. I mean, look at LeBron. I mean, he's a physical freak. The game is faster. When Jordan was doing it, it was magical because he was the only one doing it. Now a bunch of these guys are doing Jordan-esque type of stuff. So Jordan was running around, he was the first, and now there's many. So now when you have that many who could do that type of stuff, the game got to be harder. The game,
Who's your favorite player in today's game?
My favorite, Steph is fun to watch because he makes it look so easy. He makes it look so easy. I would say LeBron. I like Westbrook. Because he just go hard all day.
I don't even know I asked the question. It's the same 5 or 6 dudes for everybody.
But you were a big
we all like Westbrook and LeBron and KD.
But Kobe you're a big fan of Kobe, correct?
Oh, no, I respect Kobe. I just miss the old Lakers. I'm an Oakland guy, but living down in L.A. with the Hollywood thing, back when it was my man Robert Horry, D. Fisher, when it was Kobe, when it was Shaq, Rick Fox. I mean, man, that was I'm just saying, when you live in L.A. and that's going down, it's hard not to be. It's just it was a party. No, I mean, I respect Kobe's game. I mean, and then just the way he went out with 60 points. I mean, tip your cap. Yeah. So he went out like Derek Jeter went out. Yeah. Derek Jeter went out with that, that base hit through the second base, to finish his career. But no, Kobe all day long. I mean, it's funny that they call him the old man. I know it's sports, but I mean, look, I'm 47 years old, and I'm trying to keep my black from cracking, right? So if Kobe is an old man, then I'm ancient. But no, I mean, what a career. I mean, Kobe is. He's top 5. I mean, you want to talk about Jordan, you want to talk about LeBron, Kobe's up there.
Has LeBron passed Kobe?
No. You know it. Look at him. He want to say it.
I want to say, my uncle told me something when I was screaming about Jordan years ago. My uncle's from Boston, so he's Mr. Celtics. And then we were talking about Bird, and I was saying, no, Jordan. We were talking about Bird, we were talking about Magic, and he was like, where the rings? Where the rings? Where the rings? So Kobe's rings, LeBron's rings. So he's not Kobe yet. He's not Kobe yet.
All right.
You count rings.
I don't know. Robert Horry told me don't count the rings.
Although he got 7
of them. He stopped counting.
Damn, Robert, you're on the wrong side of that.
Right.
It's always different. Shamar, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to SWAT coming out this fall on CBS, 10 o'clock Eastern. When we come back here on First Take, is Durant the best player on the planet? We'll reveal the results and react. Also, was Game 2 the official end to the conversation of who is better, Curry or Kyrie? We get into that.
Hungry.
After the show, we are flying the friendly skies, headed to the land, Hofstra House specifically. That's where we're going to be the rest of the week. But that isn't all. We got double headers, gentlemen. Primetime specials tomorrow and Wednesday, starting 7 p.m. Eastern. Doors open 8:30 a.m. Eastern for the morning shows, 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the primetime specials. So get down there early. Don't miss out on a good time like we're having right now. Beautiful Lake Chalet. Actually sad to leave this place, sunny California. We're having a good time in Oakland. And so is our First Take fam. They're so hyped right now. Part of the reason that's happening, because Kevin Durant is scoring. He had another great performance in Game 2, becoming the 4th player in NBA Finals history with 30 points in a 5-block game. So we asked you all on Twitter, has he passed LeBron James as the best player in the NBA? And wait for it, 74% of you said negative.
Wow. First time you can say Twitter got it right. In the history of Twitter. In the history of Twitter.
Max?
Yes.
They got it right?
They did get it right. KD is outplaying LeBron in this series. He's outplaying him on offense. He's outplaying him on defense. He's outplaying him head-to-head. He looks younger, faster. He's obviously taller and longer. And in the moment of truth, LeBron's trying to put the pedal to the metal, and the gas tank look a little empty, especially on defense. So you say, well, how does that all add up to KD not passing him? Because LeBron has so much more responsibility for his team, both sides of the floor. KD can just do his thing and fit in as a kind of the best version in any universe of what Harrison Barnes was supposed to do last year. And KD does that, and oh my God, that's all he's got to do. LeBron's got to be the quarterback, the receiver, the offensive line, the whole thing. And so LeBron, given his level of responsibility, is not looking as good as KD. He's still the most valuable player in basketball.
All KD has to do is do his thing, huh? Well, his thing's pretty impressive right now. Blocking Kevin Love on one end, taking it to the other end of the court, hitting the shot while you fall down. Not to mention just generally being the MVP of this series. I can't blame Twitter for getting it wrong. I mean, I can't blame Twitter for being late to the party because no one said it's happened yet, just that it's happening. Hey, enjoy this moment because you're getting to see it in live time right now. It's like a NASCAR race. You can see the car passing the other car. Is he the best player in the NBA right now? Maybe the King still gets to call that. But what you're watching is the pass happening. And a year from now, this debate will be over. Kevin Durant will be the best player in the NBA. Most of you will be sitting here trying to argue for the past, but for the present, you're watching it happen before your eyes. And when Paul Pierce says right now, he means right now. Yeah. Not last year, not 5 years ago. Right now it's happening.
Yeah, but Paul Pierce couldn't even complete the sentence before his broadcast partners and other NBA players were like, hold on, calm down. Chauncey was like, what is she, ignorant?
If you ever thought unanimous agreement was the way to go, did that mean you were right? That's wrong.
Look, let's take it to the purest, the first sport there is, track and field. The reason why I always go to track and field because you get kind of lost a lot of times in team sports. Like, who is the individual great of that team?
All right.
But this way, this is LeBron James versus Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and LeBron James, if they raced in the same race one-on-one, LeBron beats him in the 100. But you put Kevin Durant on a relay called the Golden State Warriors, and he's getting the baton so much more ahead of when LeBron gets it. Now, LeBron can't suck him up.
It was a one-on-one race a minute ago.
Yeah,
now it's a relay.
That's easy. That's an easy one.
I can't keep up.
That's the easy one.
Where's the tortoise in the hair?
This is the tortoise. So, in this situation, look, Kevin Durant is getting the baton, and LeBron's like, hurry up. Come on, Kyrie. Give me the damn baton. And then when he finally gets it, he's too far behind to catch up, make up the difference as he did last finals. But trust me, one-on-one.
Here's the thing about going forward.
LeBron.
We may be watching that moment. I brought this up after game one. We may be watching a changing of the guard by force. It's possible that we're watching that because no player in the history of basketball until right now has played as many minutes as LeBron James and still been the best player in the world. LeBron is in new, uncharted territory. We don't know how long that can last. Maybe it can't last much longer. Maybe this is the start of it. There's no way to know, and I will tell you this much. We're 2 games into these finals. As Marcellus pointed out, the point differential was larger for the Warriors in the first 2 games of last year's finals, and the Cavs won.
Let's see how they respond in Cleveland. We can revisit this conversation. You guys want to squash another debate here? So Kyrie Irving hasn't looked like himself in this series by any means. He's a combined minus 34 in the first 2 games so far, something we didn't expect when we were debating if Kyrie was better than Steph Curry. So is that conversation officially over, Will? Were we premature with that?
Look, I don't know why we had the conversation in the first place. I mean, this wasn't... I understand that Kyrie had an awesome finals last year.
Yes.
I understand he played incredibly, but we're talking about the two-time MVP here. We're talking about the one-time unanimous MVP here. And we're having a debate about whether Kyrie has passed Steph. That was a disrespectful debate to Steph Curry. And it's not even about disrespecting Kyrie. Kyrie's great, but come on.
But Kyrie
it's
was
Steph
clutch in
Curry
the
we're
finals.
talking about here.
Yeah, but look, I don't think the debate is over. You could put Steph ahead of Kyrie, but certainly Kyrie being 4 years younger has a lot to write in his story. Think about it. 4 years ago, who was Steph Curry? An injury-prone, bad contract player that we were saying, can we really build around? 4 years ago. Now, he's two-time MVP and the finals champion and all that. If you're Kyrie Irving...
You say those things fast.
Well,
you get those out of the way really fast.
Because it's not apples to apples. Kyrie Irving is still in that conversation, but you got to give
the debate is certainly not over because of the age. Because you're right, Kyrie is so much
4 years
younger.
is a big
The
deal.
reason we talk about it at all is because Kyrie outplayed Steph in the finals last year, and because Steph shoots better, but Kyrie can also shoot. Kyrie's got better handles, but Steph also's got crazy handles.
He's also a closer, Kyrie.
But here's why Steph is at the moment ahead. The reason he won the MVPs is Steph has shown himself to be an unselfish team player who you can build a successful championship caliber team around, and Kyrie has yet to show that he can win an NBA game without LeBron James. That's why right now Steph is trouncing him. But it's not over, and Kyrie will likely eventually pass him.
I think you're getting the semantics wrong here, but they're important. The debate's not over. How about this? If in 4 years, and I'll give you your 4 years you talk about, Kyrie has 2 MVPs, 1 unanimous, then the debate can begin.
No,
then we'll start this debate.
If Steph can win an MVP in the finals, or if Steph can actually show up in the finals the way Kyrie did last year,
and continue to outplay him.
We'll talk in a week.
And continue to actually outplay Kyrie because Kyrie outplayed Steph last year.
It's happening.
Yep.
All right.
An injured Steph.
Oakland. Thank you all. Thank you. All of you guys for coming out. We've had such a good time here.